Warning, the following show features stunts performed either by professionals or under the supervision of professionals. Accordingly, the reality guys and producers must insist that none of these opinions be taken as facts. Now, please enjoy the show.
Welcome back to the Reality Guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
We are back with another retro review. This is the Bachelor season 18. We are on week 5 of the Bachelor. This is Juan Pablo's season. If it's your first time watching our channel, we're doing retro reviews of the Bachelor franchise while it's on hiatus until the double Bachelorette comes up in July. So Brian and I haven't seen any of the old seasons. We have no idea about any of the results. So we are going in completely blind and reviewing them for our first watch throughs. So some people are going through with a nice nostalgia trip, and some people who haven't seen them are going through with us for the first time. So week 5, we are continuing to travel in Asia, Brian. We are now in Vietnam. Like I said last week, they have a gigantic budget for this show.
They really do. Compared to what we've seen the last few seasons, or at least to me, it's night and day difference.
I think like each one of these legs and weeks are bigger budgets than any of the seasons, even some of the ones pre-COVID. I saw like Pilot Pete and Ford. So that was a few modern seasons in Colton. Nothing like this. Yeah. They went like week 3, they started traveling.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I mean, hell, it does make it more entertaining. So this week, we kind of continue off the aftermath of last week. Juan Pablo is kind of new, how we call it? It's like a philosophy on life, the no kissing philosophy, even though we figured out he's already kissed 6 women, but he's going to stop there. So he goes on his first one-on-one date with Renee. Now, we've been big fans of Renee. She's kind of been like the house mom. She's been a good counselor, but she's also like, I think she's made a pretty good connection with Juan Pablo because she is actually a single mom. But it was cool to see Renee be able to get her own date. It was a date of something similar we actually saw this past season, funny enough, with Clayton and his eventual winner. Well, sort of winner, not winner, but life partner, Susie, where they get to go out and she gets a custom dress made for herself, and which was really cool because it was in that Vietnamese style. And they got to have a kind of, again, they one of these street bizarre dates where they get a just feel of the town that they're in, which was really cool in my opinion. And it seemed like a normal date. Like, how did you feel about it?
I mean, there's no way they made that dress in 4 hours, right?
No. I mean, it didn't seem like a dress that needed like 18 custom measurements.
Right. They're like, okay, we're going out to dinner. You're going to wear it tonight. And I was like, there's no way, not a chance, but we'll believe it.
I mean, it's something where you could wear like a string belt and it would just tighten in the middle, but we're not going there. They had great conversations. They definitely strengthened their relationship. She does get a rose. No kiss yet, but we'll see. It is a bummer.
Like her. She's a team favorite over here.
But she knows that she's probably in kind of dangerous waters if she doesn't get that physical connection going soon. Since we mentioned he has kissed 6 girls, even though he doesn't kiss anybody. The group date. This was a funny one because this was like the lazy river date. Another one that I think is a pretty decent date, but the women made a really good point because you had to pair off. And then since there was an odd number of women and no one likes Claire ends up getting to go with Juan Pablo and gets another one-on-one date because that's what ends up happening when you try to be mean girls. So this one I would have hated if I were any of the other girls because there was no date with Juan Pablo. They just took you on a river rafting date.
Yeah, they do that. Don't they do one of these dates like every season where it's like kind of like you're not all together? It's like you got to pair off, and it's like usually like the person in question who no one likes always comes out
better for it.
Seems like a coincidence almost.
It's like a paintball date, horseback riding date. It's not, you're not really getting to have 12 horses next to each other or all the people sitting. So I think you agree like that person. And Claire's been, for people they complain though, but Claire gets her spots in. She definitely plays. She goes for the rebounds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She's always in his line of sight, always in his orbit. Like I said last week, she will do anything to be around him, which is actually a smart move because you want that FaceTime. And I think that helps. I mean, obviously it helps because she gets the group date rose. Yep.
My quote of the episode and maybe the quote of the season so far, what came from our favorite person, Charlene. Charlene is kind of doubting her place in the game. She's already said this a few times. So I think it's kind of foreshadowing a little bit where Charlene's heading. But Charlene said that she feels like she is a panda bear in a room full of brown bears
She seems like the most realistic contestant I've seen out of all
all
seasons.
time, maybe of all time.
Yeah, I really like her.
You're allowed to change your, again, I went on a rant this season. You're allowed to change your mind. You're allowed to change your mind back and forth all you want. You're on a weird game show. I'll get for love.
Right.
It's like, but they treat it super seriously, unlike like a Flavor for Love, where they'll like joke about it. Everyone knows it's kind of a joke. Like
Mhm.
treat it seriously, and then they put these goofy situations and have to try to react like normal adults. Speaking of reacting goofily to being adults, let's talk about the whole thing with Claire and Juan Pablo. Claire gets a rose, and in the process, the night that she gets the rose, she does a little late night visit to Juan Pablo because it's always been her dream. I guess she said to go swim in the ocean or skinny dip in the ocean, something like that, right?
Yeah, I think it's a swim.
Just to swim in the ocean at night, which seems pretty accessible. She lives in California, so I mean, it's not
Yeah,
like
it's definitely another lie to get close.
knocks on his window, door, deck door, whatever. Asks if he wants to go swimming. They go swimming, and then they bang. They definitely bang, right?
You think so? I don't think so.
What do you they do something more than kissing? Definitely. Dude, for all the talk.
I guess if you think about like now, like his reaction of like, yeah, we can't do that. I just didn't think that they would.
I really think they might have just had sex in the ocean.
I guess that just seems.
Well,
like
we're gonna look it up after the fact. We're gonna look it up after the
Right,
fact.
yeah,
but
we obviously everyone knows that's seen the episode for over 8 years, but we don't. But we can. Unfortunately, this is
just we'll get spoiled right away. If we Google anything about the season, we'll get spoiled. So yeah, but like right afterwards, he seems like when you're at the cocktail party, he is bummed that he did it. And I think you nailed right on the head. It's about his whole thing like with the daughter. And that's why I'm kind of being ironic about the kissing thing, because it seems like he did something more than that. But so I don't think you need to worry about the kisses anymore, bro.
Right. If he in fact did.
In week 5, that's early. That's early. Yep, exactly. See, we're trying to not, that's
Super early.
Week 5. Where are we going the rest of the season if he did this in week 5? And this is where the cracks are starting to show, in my opinion. I think this dude, I think it's all going to be lip service, skin deep, and we're going to find out really quick that he's like a dog, right?
He's always just like, I like Claire. Something about Claire I like.
She's so sexy. He loves so sexy. So yeah, as far as really the rest of the thing, I think he gaslit her a little bit in that situation. The previews kind of show like that may continue. So I think right now hopefully it's nipped in the bud and the previews are kind of hyping up more than it is, because if he continues on this road, it's really going to be a bad look. But we did have 3 eliminations. We're not really going to review everyone that made it. We're just going to let you know who's gone. Kelly, Danielle, and Lauren. Any Kelly was the one who was the burn victim dog, the redhead.
Yeah.
I felt bad for
no
her.
more good quotes from her.
Yeah, I liked her.
She trashed Claire at any moment.
I feel like we'll find her on a Paradise season when we go back to the Paradise seasons.
Yeah. I don't think anybody else like Danielle. Like Danielle was the one we said last week. Like, what do you do? What do you say we do here? Like, because like she's never on screen.
I mean, again, she made a strong showing for never being on screen. So good for her. You know, she basically made it like the second weekend of the tournament. That's like how my analogy is going for her.
And Nikki got the other group, the one-on-one, but I don't think anything happened. It was just like
it was.
Yeah, he's gonna give out the rose. Like he's not gonna like take it like, oh, like even like if Charlene survived that one moment where she's like, I don't want to have kids, he's given that the one-on-one is an automatic rose.
Oh my god, automatic rose. I would love to see this dude actually send someone. I think he will before the end of the season send someone home on a one-on-one. I think the producer's gonna tell him he has to, basically.
Yeah, maybe.
But until tomorrow, for myself, Brian, peace.